In 2002, two new SUVs rolled off the production line in Volkswagen Group's Bratislava factory. Porsche Cayenne and Volkswagen Touareg. Both are now in their third generation. Click the link in the upper right corner to watch the Cayenne review. And now let's take a closer look at the new Touareg.
The name Touareg is after a nomadic North African tribe. Since the beginning, Touareg was decent off-road, unless I got my hands on it. But let's not dwell upon that. Touareg appeared among others with a V10 and a W12 engine, and in a publicity stunt, it towed a jumbo jet. New Touareg is packed full of new tech, and Volkswagen calls it now a premium SUV. There is no more hardcore off-road version with diff locks, but Touareg can still tow up to 3.5 tons.
Speaking of towing, Touareg now gets trailer assist, which debuted a couple of years back in B8 Passat. I'll admit I've never towed anything even going forward, not to mention reversing.
I'm sure some of you are experienced lorry and caravan drivers who will easily park anything in the tightest of spots. However, I suspect there are some of you with a kid who started horseback riding, and now every other weekend you have to drive the kid and the horse to an event somewhere, and you don't want to test your trailer reversing skills in a brand new 80 grand SUV. It works like this. I engage reverse and operate the gas and brake pedal. Instead of using the steering wheel, which turns by itself in whatever direction it needs to, I use mirror adjustment switch. Simple.
But today I'm in Austria and there are some wonderful twisty roads here, so I dumped the trailer and I went for a road trip. Now, I know what you're going to say, an SUV is not ideal for twisty roads, and I completely agree with you. Most SUVs are useless on such road because they have high center of gravity and they are heavy. They are made for long straights. Sure, there are exceptions like Porsche Cayenne, but Cayenne costs twice as much as the Touareg, and legally it won't go any faster than the Touareg, especially in Austria.
Volkswagen boasts adaptive suspension and electromechanical anti-roll bars. Both work independently, so theoretically there should be no problem with damping and stabilization in the curves. Yes, we've heard stories like this before, but in real life
it works. Sure, Touareg is no MX-5, but on twisty roads this 2-ton SUV feels much lighter and much lower a car. Volkswagen explains that despite having such technical capacity, it did not want the car to corner completely flat, as it would feel artificial. From the driver as well as passenger perspective, Touareg handles great.
It's also worth mentioning this test example has seats with adjustable bolsters which keep you in place.
A few words about the steering. Touareg can be equipped with four-wheel steering, which helps improve maneuverability when parking as well as high-speed agility. By the way, with four-wheel steering, the turning radius is only 11.2 meters, which is just 30 centimeters more than in a Volkswagen Golf. For an SUV, steering ratio also seems relatively quick.
Enough about dynamics. I suspect most of you are interested in comfort and utility. Touareg is good in this department as well. It's quiet and effortless on the motorway. There is also active lane assist and adaptive cruise control. One day soon, cars will drive themselves.
Under the bonnet of this test car, there is the more powerful of the two currently available diesel engines. This is a 3-liter V6 286 horsepower motor, and it propels the Touareg from 0 to 100 km per hour in 6.1 seconds. VW claims this engine should use around 7 liters per 100 kilometers combined. Realistically, you're looking at 8 or 9. Other drivetrains, including a hybrid, will be gradually launched depending on the market. The Gearbox is an 8-speed automatic. You can switch between eco, comfort, normal, sport, off-road and individual modes, except for the off-road mode in which you get some sort of hill descent assist. I don't feel much difference between the other modes.
Besides side bolster adjustment, seats can have massage, heating and ventilation. All this is controlled from the 15-inch touchscreen. There is also a digital instrument cluster. I know many people prefer analog dials and buttons, but with so many functions and personalization options, it would be difficult to assign a physical button for everything. Remember what Volvo Center Console looked like a few years ago?
Central display is shifted, twisted towards the driver. Functions are grouped. So you have your comfort settings here at the bottom. Then you've got your multimedia settings up here on top, and next to the driver there are settings which are related to the car, to driving the car, to functionalities which you get here, and to stop and start, parking, etc., etc. In right-hand drive cars, this is of course flipped the other way around. Now, some buttons can have additional functions assigned, or functions assigned, so you can have these according to your liking, let's say. And then there are also tiles. These tiles can be configured like so, for example. And then some of them also have a couple of screens, so you can scroll or swipe through these screens. And yes, all this may seem a bit overwhelming at first.
Yes, all this looks complicated, but don't give up if you feel overwhelmed at first. So did I. You can save your favorite settings in 7 profiles. 2 of them can be assigned to the key. You can assign profiles to people or your moods with multicolor ambient lighting.
My biggest concern is that these profiles will one day get deleted, either when the battery is disconnected for a longer time for service or something like that. There's going to be some sort of a short circuit. This is going to disappear one day. And then you'll have to set up everything by yourself again, which may be somewhat annoying. Now, Volkswagen is working on profiles which will be stored in the cloud, but this is going to be something introduced in the ID electric cars in a year or so. So for now, what I suggest you do is take your camera and take photos of individual screens. So if worst comes to worst, you can restore your screen as you had it. I guess this is the best thing you can do. Now, another concern, in my opinion, is the low placement of these air vents. Now, because of this huge 15-inch screen, these air vents had to be placed here, and they're blowing air either inside this cubby here, which contains your induction charger, optional, or it blows air into your elbow, which, when the air is cold, may be an issue.
There is also a lot of storage, a net, USB ports, cup holders, large door bins, and doors cover the sills. In the back there is a lot of legroom and headroom, unsurprisingly, climate control, USB ports, armrest, seats fold flat. The boot has 810 liters volume. There is storage under the floor as well. I suggest you get the rail cargo arrangement system. It comes in handy with such a large boot. This version comes with air suspension, which lowers the loading lip 4 centimeters. With air suspension, ground clearance is 19 centimeters, and it can be raised up to 7 centimeters in off-road plus mode. Ground clearance with regular suspension is 21.5 centimeters. I almost forgot, this car has the optional IQ Light LED matrix headlights with 128 LEDs which light the road depending on the conditions. I'll tell you more about it once I spend more time with the car.
When I first saw the new Volkswagen Touareg, I was concerned it'll be yet another SUV with overcomplicated infotainment and average driving characteristics. As it turned out, the Touareg is comfortable and great to drive, but with prices starting at around 60,000 euro, it better be very good.
And what do you think about the new Volkswagen Touareg? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends who are looking for an SUV, subscribe if you haven't, and press that bell icon to be up to date with everything I post. And if you would like to help me make better videos, please contribute to my Patreon or PayPal, link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.